Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sunesha and we are gonna create a map for City Skylines, and today we're gonna use Wilbur to do our different things. So we'll probably do this for 2 episodes depending how long they take. I will try to keep it brief, 20 minutes, because it's a lot of to take in. So what I've done here is extracted this part of the map from terrain.party. And I just want to show you there so we can see how it looks on Google Earth there, and we can see how it looks here in Wilbur. I will put the link in the descriptions for this software so we can see how it's created a height map here, or it hasn't created, it has used the information for terrain.party with the black. So we can do a lot of magic stuff. Let's just take a quick brief look how it looks inside the game. We have the, as you can see, there is the small wizard island, I think is named there. So this is how it converts into the game name wise. I wish you could have, when you was working on the map editor, you could use this viewing mode here, and we can see some mountain features here. So if I want to mess about here, there is a lot of things I can do with Wilbur, how I can use a terrain.party map to make it more useful, because as you can see, yeah, there are some nice flat areas to build on here, but there is no sea or anything. So I thought, let's just create a map with the help of Wilbur, how you can use the terrain.party for Wilbur here. Let's zoom out so we can have a good look of what we are doing. So one of the things you can see here, the green areas are the lower areas and the white areas is the highest areas, and so on, so you can guess the rest. So what you kind of want to do here is what direction do I want to go with. We don't have any sea here at all, we don't have any blue or anything, so we can actually mess about with the map in different ways. One option you can mess about is to go to the filter menu, and you have something called remap altitude. So for example, let's reset this to default, and this is the highest point on the map, which represents of that white point. This is the lowest point of the map, which is represented of the most dark green hue here. So we can mess about with this. We can say we want the map to be even more high middle of high things. So let's just put it in here so we can demonstrate, and I will also show you in the game. So we will say let's give a bump to the middle values around here, and we can then smooth it out so it doesn't look choppy. And then we can, as you can see now, we have expanded media value. So how does this look into the game? Let me save. What you can do, I will show you once. You can use the same file. I will be using this test PNG, and I was just gonna rewrite it with my choices. And why do I do this? Because directly into the game I can choose it right here. So now we can import this one here. So you can see now our flat area has created a flatter area here for me in the middle. So you can and you can see it is just the mountain top showing now. So what more things you can actually do? For being example, we want to put in the sea. So this filter is very fun and you can play around with it. I wish there was a short key for it, because you kind of want to go in and out for this one if you want to play with that. So let's reset this to default, and let's just say I don't want any values here almost. So this will create, so all lower values will be kicked down. Okay, so let's move it out. Okay, cool. So you can see there we have created a natural place to put your scene, so you can use it like that, or you can just use it to flatten a hole if you work. Let's undo it. We don't need to show that. And for example, we want to flatten this hole out, so we want to lower all the values between here and here. Yeah, it's a little bit finicky, but it works. So let's just move it out, smooth. Okay, cool. So you can see now I've flattened that area out. So if we take it into the game, just to see what we have created, because then we can see the change directly. So let's so let's look at the middle values here. Let's find, I think the crater lake is a good reference point for us to start, because if I every time I move my mouse around, things are happening in the background. So let's just load it here and you will see. So now you can see we got the mountain back, and this area starts to become flatter. So if we wanted it to be a good building area for us here. So that's how you can use that one for that. So let's see here. Let's say that we want to add in the sea. We can actually use this one. It's probably the easiest one to use, the Wilbur scale one. So we will say replace to range. So we want everything lowest to be. It's not really important. I'm just putting it in like that, and then to 100. Don't put everything over 100, so it's more or less everything is under the sea now. So yes, this is a little bit how we have to go back and forth. And so you can see now it just kept the top of the mountain there. So, but if I put it in as 2600 or something, we now got a very natural shoreline here created by the topography which was provided for us from the height map, which kind of looks interesting. So let's say we will keep this one. The problem is if you just go into the game, there is no below the sea height map in the city skyline, so you can't import that and get these nice things here. So we more or less have to normalize these values here, so it becomes zero, just surface, what do you see, sea level? Yeah, surface sea level or something like that. Worth mentioning, you can also use this mode here. It's a different shader if you don't like the height map mode, but I prefer this one. I think these two ones are the most useful ones. So, okay, so what we want to do now is to select the correct height. This is also, it's minus minimum. We would want to select on the map minus, and then we want to select that one, 0. So now that is the 0 is the where sea meets the land, the height here. So now I've selected everything here. So that's really nice, because now we can actually height clip this. Let's see, height clip, max 0. So minimum. So now we have filled this in with C, so everything is 0 now. What we want to do now, because otherwise it would be very bumpy here for our height map here. It would be very bumpy, so what you can do is also go with Gaussian blur, which would blur the shoreline, so it will not be too clippy. So cool, so now we have created a shoreline, and that's really nice. Let me think, I'm just gonna deselect this. Okay, cool, so let's import this into the game and let's see what we have created. Of course, you can fiddle around with your own values, with the height values. You can enter different height titles, and that will where the shoreline will come in. So yeah, so let's. Okay, so this is our map currently. So let's import the new version, and then you can see now we have sea here. If we look from here. Here is our island, and around here, if we go around with our height things, you can see that 0 there, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And there we go, the shoreline starts. So let's fill it in with some water. We don't want to wait for it, so let's reset water to sea level. So now we can see the sea level coming in here. So we created a shoreline without doing a lot of work. It takes a little bit of time before it fills in completely here. So yeah, you have to wait for it, but you can reset. Okay, there we go. It now has created a shoreline for us by using the topography we have extracted from the highline. So you get a really natural shoreline. This is kind of what is happening for real. Of course, you can go inside later in the map editor for more. Why do we have water there? Did we add water there? Yes. Oh, it's just too low there, so it has overflown. Yeah. However, that is not important. We are not looking for making the perfect map, but as you can see now we have sea, so we can add things for our things. For example, if you want a starting tile here, you can make a boat lines and stuff, and you still have the natural mountains. So now we have done the most basic things. Now we can do a lot of things with this map. As you can see, we are using a natural map, so it's kind of eroded and it looks nice, but we can add some extra details, some floods and everything to this map with the help of Wilbur, for example. Here it's interesting how this it didn't really look flat here for some reason. I'm just curious, because if it's a sea, if it's a flat, everything wants to go in this direction. So yes, let's not concentrate on that, and we will continue working on this map. Let's just make sure so we don't have something selected by mistake. Otherwise, you can actually more or less select something if you want to work with effects on just a couple of things here. So what I can do, if I want to do it here, I want to go with an erosion cycle, which will add some. It will add some floods and stuff. Here we can also. So actually, I never touched the values on this one. This will take some while. You don't get the progress bars, but this is actually working in here. So you can see now that we have got some natural floods from the high points going out to our newly created sea, and we can see the meteor lake has. Let me zoom in here, so you can. Oh man, I'm just annoyed about the low resolution, but yes, it's better for you guys, but worse for me. So you can see there how it started some flood here. It's very roughly created here. So let's take a look how this looks inside the game. So let's go to the meteor crake, which is our best. Let me first save this. So I have saved it, so let's just yank it in here while we're looking here, so we can see. Here is a good view from the meteor lake, so we can see what Wilbur has done for us. Oh, that was the wrong map. So okay, cool. So you can see it's really rough here. The erosion cycle is really heavy-handed here. It has created a very deep ledge here, but we can kind of make this better by just making it. We can make it better by just going through more effects, but it's really nice to have these floods here, because we get these rivers at the correct places. As you can see here, we have a nice where we can put a lake, and the water can go down there if we wanted to. It's really heavy-handed, however, and we'll probably level this part out if you want to fill this meteor lake here. Another thing it does, the erosion cycle also do, is that it fills the basins, which is the lower rounded area here, and you can see it has filled out our lake a bit. So yeah, and I kind of love the effect, but it is. Wait a moment, and we'll see if we can apply this on a lower strength. Because there is actually a amount, so if I point, it has worked on other effects. So let's just run the cycle at 0.5, half strength, hopefully. So let's wait here and see if this works better for us. So let's wait while it's loading here. Yes, that was a little bit more or less heavy-handed here. We can see, yeah. So it on half strength it works, so just 0.5. Let's import it so we can see the result directly, but I think it will work a lot better. Oh man. Genius me was overwriting my own files, so I had to redo everything here in the background. So let's find Crater Lake here. Where are you, Crater Lake? You're over here. So we can now see the old result here with a much lower, this higher here. So let's import that. It was just a notch less, but at least it was a little bit less heavy-handed here. So cool. So what we can also do to add some more interesting features to our map here, we can go with Insight Flow. Insight Flow and let's see, effect plane. What I do here, once again, I've changed that value, which how strong it is. The one is 100%, so 1% change twist is 0.25, just to not make it so heavy-handed. So let's use this effect here. Let's use it again, because I want to point out where it shows up. So let's just go. The thing about Wilbur is it doesn't have a progress bar, so sometimes if you do very subtle things, you have to keep track of it. So we can see the preview here. It adds these lines here, so it makes everything more liney. You can see it has flown in this way down to that one. So I just blend this at 0.25 because otherwise it's super heavy-handed. So now we have added some more things. So let's go inside the game, and you can see probably in the game where the flat area is a little bit better once kind of effect we have created. So let's save this. Yes, this will definitely be 2 episodes, and we'll split it in 2 parts. Okay, so let's see here. We can see the map from here. So let's import it here so we can see the changes directly. See now I had added some more lines to things here. So yes, it started to get very busy here. I'm just showcasing stuff. You don't have to use everything if you don't want it. But you can see now it's a little bit less heavy-handed here. We can see the floods out of there. So let me just demonstrate how it could be helpful by just adding a water source here, so you can see how it will look when it's done and how this can be helpful. So here we have it, a river added by Wilbur that wasn't there before. So that's can make your map a little bit interesting looking by adding some rivers here and there. And you can always smooth those out you don't want to use. For example, if you don't want to use this river here, just level it out, smooth it out, and don't use it. But this gives you very natural things. And like this one, I probably will not use because it's super straight. It doesn't look natural at all. So what you could do is just level this out. So if you just take a heavy and you can just smooth it out like this, and then it will disappear.